Hello everyone!
One more time!
And now we are recording the new songs of Contra, my band, and here I am playing a little bit mixing the bass track. So now I'm going to show you the different tracks I have for bass. So here is the main track, and I'm going to show you how it sounds without any plugin or EQ, just as recorded. It sounds good, just recorded, and I always use this plugin, the TSE B.O.D, it's freeware, and now I'm going to enable it. It really adds power to the sound. And then I use a limiter to make the sound of the bass the same all along the song. So this is how it sounds. It also makes the sound a little bit dirt, but I like it. And then I use some EQ, quite EQ. Each bass is different, so this EQ won't have the same results on your bass, but cutting frequencies at around 500 Hz uses to make the bass sound more focused. And this EQ makes the bass in this particular mix really fit. And as you see, I have more EQ, I have boosted a little bit around 2 kilohertz, and I have cut the low frequencies, so it doesn't make the mix less clear, and also cut the high frequencies to avoid the clang sound. And now, in this project, I don't always make this, but in this project I duplicate the bass track and use another plugins. In this channel I'm going to use a lot of distortion, in fact a guitar distortion plugin, TSE X30. It sounds like shit and destruction, but don't judge this sound until you hear the full mix. And now I have used an impulse response, the Gorgoroth guitar impulse from my pack 7. This pack is still unreleased, but you have the impulse responses made so far in my channel Metal Guitar Tones, you have it in the description below. So let's compare. It makes it sound more natural, even for a high distortion for bass. And then, as the other channel, I have used a limiter. With the same purpose as before, just to keep the level all along the song without any peak. And then the EQ used is very similar to the one used in the other bass track. So 5 Hz cut. This way I cut some dirty mid frequencies, so in this mix I prefer to cut those frequencies in the bass. I have also lowered a bit the low frequencies in this track because I want the power of the bass, the low frequencies of the bass, being added with the other bass track, not this one. And again I have boosted at around 2 kilohertz to make this distortion more present, and also cut the high frequencies to avoid the harsh sound. And now both tracks. This sound is dirt, powerful but dirt. It may not fit on any mix, but in this case I wanted this sound. In fact, I don't always use the distortion track, it depends always on the mix. Without this it sounds good. So this is not always needed, but in this case I wanted this powerful, this extra power in the mix. It keeps all the power, all the low frequencies of the bass, but makes it more present in the mix, especially when all the instruments are playing together. So in my opinion, and just my opinion, it sounds better in this particular mix. And now a very important thing when you are duplicating tracks is the phase. This button inverts the phase of the track, so it's better if you try it when you are duplicating tracks to avoid the phase cancellation of some frequencies. So if you notice that you lose a lot of low frequencies especially, you have to try this button and see if it improves the sound. Now I'm going to invert the phase. In this case it sounds good with or without inverting the phase. It just makes the sound a little bit different, so I prefer to invert the phase in this case. It makes it more focused, and since the limiter is post-fader in the last slots, I have to adjust the level of the output with the sailing. And one very important thing, if we are mixing those bass tracks with the solo, we may add too few distortion. But it changes a lot when we listen to the whole mix with all the instruments, because with every instrument playing you may not notice the distortion too much, and you may lose the definition that does the distortion of the bass. So I already tried it before, and for this mix it sounds okay with the sailing at -7 dBs. So it may sound now too distorted, but with the mix sounds okay. Now it may sound too dirt, but let's check it in the mix. This is how it sounds without the bass tracks. I think it sounds quite good for this mix, but anyway, it's just an early test mix. In fact, we are still recording the songs, this is the first one we have recorded. And as I have said, I don't always use this duplicated distortion bass track. It doesn't depend on if it's thrash metal, death metal, black metal, it doesn't depend on this, it depends on each mix. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as usual, see ya!
One more!